On day 1, I spawned into the rocky beach as a warden land shark. I'm not just a fish out of water, I'm a warden above ground. I only had 6 hearts though, so I wasn't about to become master of the ecosystem overnight. And my hopes of being immediately a relevant player in the overworld disappeared even more when a silver skeleton showed up.
Look at me and my bad self. I'm Silver John, and I'm this world's ultimate super duper star.
Whoa, you look cool. Can I be your friend?
Ugh, a warden land shark? Get your cartilage bones away from my silvery shiny bones.
He slapped me with a melee attack that wore down 3.5 of my hearts. One more hit like that, and I was toast. So I ran away to live another day. Swimming away through the land was easily done for a land shark like me, and I was able to hide among the rocks of the biome. Well, so much for making a friend right out of the gate. That Silver John guy seems like a real snob. I hope not everyone I meet is like that. I scanned the horizon with my powerful senses, a fusion of warden sonar and shark instinct. A powerful ogre appeared on my radar and was bounding over the rocks towards me. Was this new mob a friend or a foe?
You?
Me!
How dare you get that close to Silver John? I'm his #1 fan, and I've never spoken to him. Just who do you think you are, buddy?
I'm Zozo, the warden land shark, and I didn't even know who Silver John was. But after he attacked me, I totally regret approaching him.
Oh, I see. You think you're too good for Silver John. People like you make me so mad. I'm going to take what is left of your hearts.
The ogre rampaged towards me, but I wasn't planning on getting trampled. I slipped through a gap in the rocks that was too small for him to follow and hid away in a cave fit for one of my warden relatives. That's one way to start a 100-day challenge. I better steer clear of Silver John and his obsessive fans. On day 2, I traveled down the coast to another more beautiful and colorful beach, the Rainbow Beach. Even though I'm a land shark, I do like being so close to the water. I had to set up my base here. I took down some trees so that I could make a pickaxe out of wood, which I quickly discarded after I gathered stone for a stone pickaxe, shovel, and axe. I made myself a stone sword too, in case I had to defend myself from that ogre, or even Silver John himself. While I was walking the beach, I decided to do some fishing. It was ironic since I am a shark, but I managed to catch some squid, which was easy to cook into calamari over a campfire. Delicious calamari. Yep, this place is definitely going to be my home. I started to build my totally awesome beach dream house in the dreamy Rainbow Beach where I would be able to live a peaceful and happy shark life. Of course, not everyone was in agreement that I deserved a chance at happiness. The ogre had followed me to the Rainbow Beach and was still mad about what happened the other day.
Nice house, Zozo. It's a lot nicer than mine, actually. You think you're some kind of big shot, huh? But it doesn't matter because Silver John will never notice you again.
That's fine by me, ogre. I actually hope I never run into him again.
Good. Let me help you with that by making this showy house less of an eyesore.
The ogre ran over and smashed up all my hard work. I held on to my sword in fear, bracing for the ogre to attack me as well, but it never happened. The ogre was so worn out from wrecking my house that he wandered away with a huff.
That'll show you.
I was frustrated because my fledgling dream beach house had been demolished, but relieved because that ogre fist wrecking ball hadn't wrecked my poor warden land shark face. I returned to first fix up my base and then continued working on it in as quiet and not show-offy a fashion as I could manage. By the end of the day, I had a roof over my head and a lovely beach house. On day 3, I stayed on the move and discovered that there was a flowering enchanted grove nearby. This world was so beautiful and full of wonder. Wow, I should really use some of the rare wood from this grove to give the walls of my beach dream house a bit more pop. While I was gathering the materials, a yeti snuck up behind me and roared into my smooth warden land shark ears.
Rawr! I'm Yeti Betty, and I'm going to make you regretty. Ever setting foot in I'm going to need to ask you to leave the woods here with me.
There are so many trees here, and I just need a few of them. You understand, right?
Your deforestation days are over, Shark Boy.
Yeti Betty attacked me, but I drew my stone sword, ready to fight back. Take it easy, Betty. It's just the name of the game. I always build things out of wood to start with.
Wrong. The name of the game is Minecraft. Now beat it.
Yeti Betty charged up for a big attack and sent me flying across the enchanted grove with some huge huge knockback. I almost took a lot of falling damage, but fortunately, there was a small pool of water conveniently under where I landed. I was happy the water stopped me from taking damage, but I wasn't alone in the water. A barracuda was relaxing just above the surface.
Oi, can't a land barracuda swim in the water for once? Is it too much to ask?
I'm really sorry. Wait, did you say you were a land barracuda? I'm part land shark. The name's Zozo.
I'm Barry, and even though you just stumbled into my swimming pool, I can tell we're going to get on like a couple of good chums.
Have you ever been to Rainbow Beach? The water there is pretty nice, too.
Sounds it, mate. Let's dive on in.
With Barry the land barracuda by my side, I finally had a friend in this overworld. From day 4 to day 5, I returned to this colorful Rainbow Beach with my new Landian friend, Barry. Since we no longer need to live beneath the ocean waves, I built him a sweet room above the surface, including a few ambient candles you'd never be able to light under the sea.
Strike a light. Literally, me regular barracuda brethren would be so jealous of this 5-star fiery room I've got here.
You're so right, Barry. It is pretty flamin'. Something those water dwellers could never dream of seeing in a million years. Unless they evolve to be like us in a million years. Wouldn't that be something? As Barry relished in the fiery scene, I land swam from his quarters and went outside, bumping right into that Silver John superfan again.
You both think you're both so cool, huh? With your advanced evolutionary powers? I bet you think you're cooler than Silver John, don't you? Well, you can't be. He's got silver bones, and his dark eye sockets make him look like he's got built-in sunglasses all the time. Cool sunglasses he can't ever take off, because he's so cool.
I don't think we're any cooler than Silver John, actually. That guy has silver bones, which, in my personal opinion, is a pretty rare color for bones to be. He seems like he's got advanced evolutionary powers of his own.
Wow. So you think you're just as cool as Silver John then? That's just as bad as thinking you're cooler than Silver John.
I don't think I follow.
You don't follow Silver John, but everyone follows Silver John, and all haters of him must be destroyed.
Without warning, the ogre fired an arrow at me, but I was quick to dodge, using the innate instincts of my water shark ancestors who were used to evading harpoons. Arrows are just a land version of those. I think I was so good at land swimming that I was able to evade every arrow fired. Not wanting to admit my fighting moves were pretty neat, the ogre ran off in a hurry, dropping his power bow out of shock in the process. I decided to pick it up for myself. I'm not sure how I'll shoot this thing with just my fins, but it seems like a good line of defense to have. And if it's any consolation, just like my land swimming abilities, I could evolve to have opposable thumbs soon. From day 6 to day 8, I was working on my dream beach house and making it closer to the ideal version of it I kept seeing in my dreams. I knew I would need wool for some of the furniture, so I found some wandering sheep and herded them into a pen. I'll just leave them there for a while. We'll take some time to grow in, after all. Out by the sheep pasture, I noticed a shining silvery sight on the horizon. It was Silver John, the skeleton superstar. He appeared to be looking into some kind of camera and holding an auto crossbow at a sideways angle.
Hello, people.
He said into the camera.
I'm Silver John, the biggest super duper star in the overworld. And when I need to have a bit of fun, there's nothing better than shooting off an auto crossbow from Otto's auto crossbows in a random direction, like so.
Silver John started firing the crossbow, and his bolts flew through the air towards my sheep pen. A few of them grazed the fence, but one even took out a whole sheep. Whoa, that has to stop. I ran over to Silver John, heedless of the camera nearby. Hey, John, stop shooting at my sheep.
Do I know you?
I'm Zozo, the Warden Land Shark. You slapped away some of my hearts a week ago.
It doesn't ring any bells. I have a lot of people to meet, so I can't remember them all. What's your problem again?
You're shooting my sheep with your crossbow, and I want you to stop.
Yeah, I'm kinda in the middle of a commercial here, and this is the perfect location for it. I suggest you move your sheep, because I'm gonna be shooting this thing all day.
That's not fair. I just put up this sheep pen.
That was your mistake. As for me, I'm too rich to make mistakes.
Why, you can't just...
Are you still here? Scram! Before you become a target too.
I wanted to fight for my rights, but I knew I didn't stand a chance against a superstar, so I swam away in shame. From day 9 to day 10, I angrily stayed within my base, ushering a few of my sheep inside, so neither Silver John's camera crew nor could his crossbow Zozo have the ability to shoot them.
If that snide skeleton wants to capture any of your sheep on his camera, he should have to pay you first.
I don't even think he pays his camera crew, let alone the locations he films these commercials at.
He needs a permit to film this close to your property, methinks.
The legal fees of trying to fight that wouldn't be worth it. The guy's a billion trillion gazillionaire with loads of loyal fans. We'd never win, he also thinks.
Oh, don't be so glum, Zozo. Come on, follow me. I got some fun things to show you that methinks could cheer your day right up.
Wait, really? The sheep John shot is alive again?
No, I ain't a magic land barracuda, but I am pretty skilled when it comes to the art of construction. Here, check this out, my Landian friend.
Barry showed me to a statue he'd begun to build with his own two… well, he doesn't have hands, so I wasn't quite sure how he built it. I also wasn't quite sure what it was of, either. That better not be a statue of celebrity superstar Silver John Skeleton.
Oh no, he'd probably sue me given the way it looks now, being it a little ugly so far. Nah, it's not quite finished yet. I'm still letting the creative juices flow, like a forest creek or a running faucet. Speaking of bodies of water, check this out. I made us a pond, paying homage to our aquatic roots. But that's not all.
Barry then showed me the other upgrades he'd made to our base. A furnace and a Zen garden. He must have built them while I was busy hate-watching Silver John from our base window, blindly consumed with rage. Wow, what perfect timing for a Zen garden, Barry. Thanks for all of this. I think I'm gonna take some time to de-stress here. All that seething has really tuckered me out. From day 11 to day 12, I relaxed in my peaceful Zen garden, my eyes shut tight as I tried to block out the world around me, including all thoughts about Silver John. No wonder he's so popular. It's hard to get the man off your mind, whether you love him or hate him. What an evil, but clever celebrity strategy. Man, why that red-headed mermaid wanted to live up here amongst land dwellers is beyond me. The crustacean was right. Life under the sea sure does seem a lot better than anything we've got up here. As I peacefully pictured beguining sardines, carps playing harps, and trouts rocking out, something else distracted me from my musing moment. Hearing super loud tunes blast from the distance, and not my own brain, I went to check it out, witnessing something I knew I never gave permission to happen this close to my base. It was Silver John Skeleton, and he was hosting a concert.
Shining like silver, yeah. Silver baby, gold is overrated. Silver is here to stay.
You keep it down out here. Some people are trying to relax, and those some people are me.
Huh? Sorry, I can't hear you over the super cool song I wrote. Yeah, that's right. I'm superstar Silver John Skeleton, and I write my own music with lyrics I came up with in my own brain. Silver baby.
Rumbling, I returned inside my base, using some of my sheep's wool to plug my shark ears with. There has to be something that could shift public reception about Silver John. He may be all bones, but I'm sure I could scrounge up some beef on him if I searched hard enough. He's got some skeletons in his closet, I'm sure of it. But if he won't be honest with his own fans, someone else will have to spill the beans. And that person's gonna be me! From day 13 to day 15, I hurriedly left my base to escape the nearby concert grounds, those sheep's wool earplugs not having done a very good job blocking out Skelejon's #1 chart-busting musical hit. Shining like silver, ooh, I'm silver, yeah. Ah, darn it! Why does his song have to be so catchy?
Catchy, huh? Well, I'll show you, catchy.
A beast landed behind me. It was Betty, the Yeti. Or was it Yeti Betty? Betty Yeti? Yeti?
Ha! Gotcha, you feeble-minded fan! No one sings Silver John songs in my midst. I've spent years isolating this enchanted grove just to get his sticky tunes out of my brain. And I won't let you, some simple-minded skeleton, come in here and re-stick it to me.
Fan? Oh no, no way! I'm no fan of Silver John. That guy's one of the biggest jerks on dry land. I'd never listen to his music willingly. Look, I've even got earplugs in my ears. I was trying to tune him out, but he held a stupid concert next to my house all last night, and now I can't get his jams out of my brain.
Well, there's no way you're getting his jams out anywhere near me. The last time John came into my grove, he demanded to build a concert hall here. All without a permit, mind you. He knocked down so many trees, I was afraid he'd kill every flora and fauna until the last thing standing was his stupid stage. Now, I don't care if you're a fan or not. No one comes into my glade singing his nonsense and gets away with it.
Yeti Betty charged at me, swinging his massive fists with destructive intent. Betty swung at me, her hits a few times successful, but as she ripped through the glade, her haphazard punches destroyed a few trees with them. The more I darted, the more she hit. and the more trees that fell around us. As she tired of fighting, I fled to a far side of the grove, the last standing evergreen laying destroyed at our feet, or the equivalent of my feet. Despite being a land shark, I hadn't evolved to grow feet or legs yet.
No, my beautiful enchanted grove. It's all messed up.
That's rough, Betty. Looks like you destroyed your own forest.
If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it even make a sound?
I don't know, probably. Sounds still happen even if we're not there to hear them. Oh, sweet! I just got huge! And I got a jump boost and 20 hearts! Whew, today is awesome! Life is beautiful, as Betty withered away to nothing, just like the plant life around us. I was granted with some awesome new power-ups. Even if Silver John's song hadn't escaped my head, I could at least hop around to the tune living eternally inside my brain. Hey, maybe with enough hopping, I could jostle John's song right out of my head! From day 16 to day 19, I decided to make use of my new abilities and venture into the mining caverns. Traveling into the center of the earth felt ancestrally nostalgic, like diving into the ocean and swimming towards the seafloor. Only there was no water, and I've never seen amphitheaters under the sea before either. So maybe not exactly like being under the sea, actually. I shot at the amphitheaters with my power bow, and with miraculous aim to boot, being I didn't have hands to properly aim at them. It was all guesswork, but I think I did pretty good, as I was able to defeat the mob in no time. As I ventured deep into the mines, I pondered aloud to myself. Amphitheaters, those two words sound awfully similar. I wonder if those amphitheaters would be some of Silver John's employees, tasked by him to build an amphitheater he could play his concerts in. Man, I'd hate to be them, working for Silver John, and now also dead. Now alone to my own devices, I mined my way through the caverns, able to collect enough iron ore to craft myself a brand new iron sword and iron pickaxe. It's great I can use these two new tools for myself, and not for building Silver John a concert hall. Man, who would ever want to work for him? He probably pays his employees in autographed headshots or exposure or something. What a terrible boss. From day 20 to day 22, I went back to my base. All that adventuring had made me forget that brainworm of a song I heard Silver John singing all those nights ago. Wait, why did I just bring that up again? Oh no, now it's all coming back to me. Cause gold is overrated. Silver's here to stay. Ah, dang it, not again.
Zozo, don't you dare sing that song. Not now.
What? Why? Are you afraid it'll get stuck in your head too?
Yeah, but even more importantly, Silver John Skeleton sues the pony and trap out of anyone who covers his tunes without permission. He's got copyright law wrapped around his little bony fingers, mate. You're just itching to get sued.
Before I could respond, I heard a ferocious knock at our door. Barry hid in the closet, leaving no one but me to bravely answer. Who is it?
Please, do I even need an introduction?
I'd prefer it if you…
Tell me if I'm off the mark here, which I highly doubt I am, but I thought I heard one of my songs playing from within your unpleasant hovel. Now, I have perfect pitch, and I listen to my own albums on repeat quite often, so I know a Superstar Skeleton John song when I hear one. But this one sounded different. So different, in fact, that it wasn't even my gorgeous voice singing my own song.
Well, I mean, my CD player is a bit old, so it tends to distort voices quite a bit. I can't afford a new one. I'm not super rich like you. But I can assure you, Mr. Skeleton, I wasn't…
Infringing on my copyright? Oh, please, let's be real here. You most definitely were. Now, I hate to upset my fans, especially by issuing a lawsuit, but let's be honest, you're not one of my fans, now are you? Though I find that incredibly hard to believe, as everyone above land loves me. You'd better start saving what little money you have, because I'm taking you to court. Maybe start looking for a new place to live, too. I'm thinking of expanding my concert hall to right about where your house sits. Anyway, ciao.
I couldn't believe it. I was about to lose everything to a slimeball, self-obsessed skeleton. I had to think quick if I wanted to keep anything I held dear. Fine, I admit it. I was singing your song, and I haven't been able to stop singing your song because because I'm your #1 fan. Even if it wasn't the truth, I'd rather Silver John believe I was his biggest roadie than have my house turned into a literal road leading straight to his concert hall.
Number 1 fan, you say?
Yes, your biggest fan, the largest of the largest. I own all of your albums, all your posters, all your t-shirts, all your merch. I have Silver John DVDs, Silver John CDs, Silver John brand everything. I even own a pair of Silver John brand sneakers. Sneakers I can't even wear because I don't have feet. I just stare at them and picture myself wearing them on my non-existent feet.
That's all fine and expected, yes. But what makes you so different from any of my other adoring followers?
Because before I was a land shark, I was a sea shark. You say you're the biggest star on land, right? Well, I knew about you all the way under the sea when no one else did. I shouted your name into the Marianas Trench. Silver John, Silver John, Silver John. I'm not just your #1 fan, John. I'm your #1 spokesperson. You don't have to just be the biggest star on land, but the biggest star at sea.
So you mean I could be
biggest star in the whole entire world.
I like the way you think. Here, this is my business card. Let's get in touch. I could use a fanager like you.
Silver John swaggered away, his bones glinting beautifully in the sunlight. Actually, it was just obnoxiously blinding. Man, I hate that guy. I couldn't believe what I'd just signed up to do. But if John was this easily fooled by my lies, I knew I may be able to take him down. If not by brawn and force, then by tricky wit. Who knew a skeleton could be so daft? I mean, I don't think he has a brain up in that skull, so it's not that surprising actually. I just wonder how he's able to write such catchy songs on his own without a mind to think them up. From day 23 to day 26, I planned my managerial pitch. It sounded pretty convincing to me, in need of some more reliable feedback. I ran my plan by Barry, who is 10 times smarter than the sheep, but equally thought it was great. I was thrilled my ruse was working, and in an unexpected twist, Barry gifted me a novelty manager hat to make me look all legit-like. Looking in the mirror, I was proud of all the work I'd accomplished, but it sure was exhausting fabricating such a believable lie. Soon, however, I'd be ready to set my plan into action. If you're someone who loves action like me, be sure to check out more of my adventures by searching up Zozo on YouTube. You'll be sure to find plenty more to choose from. But for now, this Zozo is in much need of some Z's, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. From day 27 to day 31, I managed my sheep around our base, managed the lily pads in my Zen garden, and managed my base's furnace. I was getting really good at this managing thing, despite never being a manager once in my entire land shark life. If only I didn't have to manage Silver John soon. This could have been a legitimate career path for me.
Zozo, kick your knees up, step in time. You have to come see that statue I've been working on. It's coming along real splendid, it is.
I land swam quickly ahead of Barry, super excited to see the statue's progress, especially knowing it wasn't going to be a monument to undeserving celebrity Silver John Skeleton. But upon reaching the statue, I realized something was missing. Not to burst your building bubble, Barry, but may I be managerial for a sec?
Sure, don't see why not.
I think your statue could improve with a little extra pizzazz. How about you add some ebony planks to spiff it up a bit?
Oi, I like that word, mate. Pizzazz. Yeah, I'm convinced. Ebony planks could do it wonders. But where can I get my hands on some of that stuff?
Leave it to me, Barry. I may soon be Silver John's manager, but in my heart, you're my #1 client. With lots of pep in my step, or rather swim, I headed for the gravelly mountains, fascinated by their height. Wouldn't my sea shark family members love to see this? In the ocean, they have trenches, but on land, we have mountains. They're like total opposites, like stalagmites and stalactites, or open mic nights versus sold-out stadiums. Wonder where Silver John got to start singing.
Halt! What's the password?
I was stopped short by, another super SJ superfan. We were outside some clubhouse of some sort, and I could hear Silver John skeleton music blasting from the inside. Luckily enough, the clubhouse was built with the exact material I needed for Barry's statue back at our base. Open sesame?
Wrong. This area is for Silver John Skeleton fans only. I'm gonna give you one more chance. What's the password?
Oh, this wasn't just any clubhouse. It was a fan clubhouse. I should have known from all the SJ memorabilia out front. Also the music. Dang it, now that song was stuck in my head again. The password is Silver John Skeleton.
Yes, and?
Is the best?
Wrong again. It's Silver John Skeleton is the best best. You're no super fan, you're a super liar. Prepare to get punted, squirt.
I suddenly received a swift kick to the shark gut. I soared through the air, but I was able to land not too far off from the mountain, still clinging to the side. For a second there, I became a sky shark. While the ogre guard danced distractedly to the earwormy song, I used my jump boost to sneakily spring to the back of the building, gathering up some ebony planks. I was able to get as much ebony planks as I needed, but before I headed out, I decided to hide behind the sign and waited for a new day. From day 32 to day 35, I awoke to an ogre superfan replanting ebony trees.
Hey, why is there a weird shark up here? We don't have any oceans up on these mountains.
My cover was blown. I'm not just any shark, I'm a land shark. Now get off my tail. I sprung from the rocky mountain ground and began to defend myself, slashing my iron sword, not only at the ogre before me, but through the many Silver John skeleton banners. Devastated I had ruined his newly found collection, the ogre wept.
These were limited edition trees worth more than your own life. For shame, land shark, for shame.
As the ogre continued to sob, I quickly retreated down the mountain, but I was met with an unfamiliar voice calling for assistance.
Hey you, shark without a Silver John t-shirt on. Fellow non-fan here, you are a rare sight to see. This mountain's been littered with superfans ever since SJ started his sham of a career years ago. Think you could lend me a hand? I've asked those ogres for help time and time again, but they're too busy listening to Silver John's quote-unquote original music to hear me yelling.
Sure thing, Frostmaw. I'm a manager of sorts, so I think I could manage your sitch. What do you need?
The name's Chimi Cardioid. I'm a singer, and I have this friend of mine. He's a drummer, name's Timpani. He went missing not too long ago. It's not like him, especially since we were right in the middle of writing a song together. Think you could find out where he went? The future of our band depends on it.
Band? You're in a band? Wow, and I thought Silver John was the only performer on land.
That's what he wants you to think. You know, my band's been looking for a bass player, and look, I know you're a shark, but you're kind of like a bass. A bass. If you can get him back, we'll let you join the troupe. Now please, kid, get to it. I need my second half timpani back, or this song will never see the light of day.
I'd love to hear a different song outside of Silver John's #1 hit. You can count on me, Michi.
It's Chimi, but thanks.
From day 36 to day 39, I searched land and sea. Actually, just land. For Chimi's bandmate, Timpani. I started to lose hope until I heard obstructive, maniacal laughter coming from the Glowshroom Bayou. Laughter so loud, it got Skelejon's song out of my head for real this time.
This'll be perfect. Celeb Silver John will be sure to take me back as his manager once I bring him you, Timpani, the greatest drummer in all the land. Provide his songs with fabulous percussion, and you'll provide me with loads of money.
Stop right there, you corporate shill. Music is about groove, not greed. Now give me back my soon-to-be bandmate.
You're the new manager Silver John Skeleton replaced me with. You think you can just waltz right in and supervise a multi-million-dollar music empire with no managerial experience? I think not.
The jaded ex-manager charged me with excessive speed, but I was able to survive using the innate instincts of my water shark ancestors. I whipped out my sword and fought back. From day 40 to day 43, I continued my battle with Silver John Skeleton's disgruntled ex-manager. Being unemployed by the land's most odd artist led him to do some pretty outlandish things, and I started to feel kind of bad for him. You know, Skeleton's kind of a terrible boss for firing you on a dime like that. Maybe you could just, I don't know, get a job managing someone else? Like who?
Who could possibly make me as much money as Silver John Skeleton?
Maybe it's not all about the money, Mr. Manager. It's great to be stable, but as a former manager myself, I'd rather work with genuine artists who put music first, corporate greed later, or like corporate greed never. I know a band in need of some guidance, now that I'm joining them as their bassist. Ever heard of Chimi, Timpani, and the Land Shark?
I've heard of Timpani, yeah. Why, in fact, I even kidnapped him.
Exactly, and you didn't kill him for not cooperating with your scheme, so you must see his creative potential, and now you've met me, so you're already familiar with 2 of the 3 band members you'd be working with. We're real musicians, Mr. Manager, manager with true passion for jams and jingles, not obsessive fan bases and merchandise. We wouldn't fire you just for some ego-fluffing fanfare either. What do you say? Want to work with us instead? With a pause and a thought, the ex-manager eventually lowered his weapon, nodding in agreement.
All right, kid. As an ex-musician before I was an ex-manager, I do remember what it was like to write music for myself, not for the masses. You make me feel young again. Young! Here's my card. Call me when you got yourself a set ready. I'll book you a gig then.
Awesome! Can I have my bandmate back?
Oh yeah, here.
Our new manager headed out, leaving me with just Timpani. I guess now's a better time than ever to introduce myself. I'm Zozo, Warden Land Shark, and your new band bassist. Thrilled to be making music with you.
Boom, boom, ba. Let's get this percussion party started.
Timpani and I headed back to the Gravelly Mountains, where we met up with Jimmy once more. She was totally pumped to see her bandmate again, and formally welcomed me into the troupe.
Thanks, Zozo. You're a real trooper. Like, for real. Welcome to the band. Timpani and I are gonna continue working on the song we started. When you're done back at your base, feel free to meet us again, and we can practice our actual bass line then. Now, let's finish that new symphonic hit, baby.
From day 44 to day 49, after low-key starting a speculative career in pop music, I returned to my dream beach house and delivered the ebony planks to bury the land barracuda. You won't believe what I had to go through in order to get this. Heck, even I barely believe it.
Comes much appreciated, mate. I'll put this ebony planks to a good right use then.
Super! Anyway, I've been out traveling for a while, so I'd like to get some work done around the house. I've really missed this place. I left Barry to resume building the statue and decided the first order of business was to add a beautiful flower garden to the dream beach house. Maybe I'll have flowers for every color of the rainbow. That would really match the surroundings. I went out picking flowers for a while, then planted them all in one place, creating a nice little area for scenic viewing of plant life. Ah, now that's a flower garden. I've sure got a green fin. Maybe I'm something of a lawn shark. Once all the flowers had been planted, I returned to Barry and saw that he had made some solid progress on the statue. Excellent work, Barry. That statue is coming along great.
Thank you, Zozo. I'm taking a break for a while, though. We can't all be so lucky to have a career in the arts.
My music career has barely begun. Besides, you make building look like an art form itself. From day 50 to day 53, I was awoken to a familiar yet ferocious knocking on my base's front door. Assuming Timpani's mighty percussionist knocking was to be the case, I swung open my door, but was met not with the view of my bandmates, but with the Silver John Skeleton celeb himself. Hey, Silver Bullet, how's my favorite little musician doing? I was looking for venues to book you at and—
Can the managerial act, you lying land shark. I know you're not my biggest fan. Remember a little place up on the Gravelly Mountains called SJ's Fan Club? Well, apparently, you paid them a visit not too long ago.
How silly! Of course I would. I am your biggest fan after all.
Oh, really? Because according to my real ogre fans, you didn't know the password to get in. In fact, not only did you not know the password, but you actively destroyed a slew of my limited edition trees. Ebony trees worth more than the lives of every living land creature on the overworld. What do you have to say about that, huh?
You're the best musician in the whole wide world?
Too late for that, ex-manager. On guard!
Silver John moonwalked out of the basin in an admittedly really cool manner, making way for his ogre superfan guards to seize my base. I would have clapped for John's dance moves if he weren't the biggest jerk in the overworld. I also would have clapped for the epic ogre fan guard entrance if it weren't for them butchering half of my home upon arrival. I was too busy trying to ward them off to notice my best land friend Barracuda had been kidnapped by one of Silver John's henchfans.
This shark will make a great addition to Silver John's home aquarium. Come on now, boys. Let's send this stupid land shark back out to sea.
But I'm a land shark, not a sea shark. I won't survive in a water-filled aquarium. Unbeknownst to Barracuda's disappearance, I continued to fight the last of the superfans, destroying their hearts and morale by tearing up every last piece of Silver John memorabilia I could get my shark fins on. The jig was up, so I didn't have to pretend to be a fan anymore. And destroying SJ's merch was oddly more peaceful than any time I'd spent trying to calm down in my garden before. With this final defeat, I grew bigger, cooler, with 40 hearts, and a brand new Warden Shriek. Whoa! I can't wait to shriek more Skeleton posters to smithereens with this new power of mine. Isn't that right, Barry? Barry? I looked around, but Barry was nowhere to be found. I may have taken the merch of superfans, but they took my biggest prize of all, my best friend. I'll get you back, Barry. No superfan can trump out Super Friend. friendship. From day 54 to day 57, I was living the dream in my not-so-dreamy beach house, which I was working to make dreamier and beachier every single day. It'd be messed up if Silver John tried to take away the Rainbow Beach from me. He did say that he was planning on living here, and he could if he wanted to. I had worked too hard for some celebrity to buy me out, so I decided to go see my bandmate Jeannie for some advice on how to deal with the silver-plated skeleton. She was waiting to meet up with me in the gravelly mountains, which were as gravelly as ever. Jeannie greeted me, and the two of us began to talk about Silver John.
Being his fan won't keep you safe, especially from other fans. And if you remain unfamous, you won't be able to do anything about him. There's really only one option you have in this scenario.
And what's that, Jimmy?
You've got to become a superstar too. And that way, he won't be able to mess with you, because it will make him look bad.
What if I get too popular and wind up acting just like as big a jerk as Silver John?
That'll never happen, Zozo. You're different. Being famous doesn't have any effect on how people act.
Huh, when you put it that way. All right, let's turn this Warden Land Shark into Super Duper Star Land Shark.
The first step will be to get yourself signed to a record deal. When you get the chance, you should head to Mojave's studio in the Mojave Desert. That's where all the superstars come from.
And when I go there, I'll be a superstar too. I had only joined a band recently, but my true quest for fame and celebrity was now beginning. From day 58 to day 62, I started to take this quest for superstardom seriously by revamping my image. If there's one thing I know about rich and famous people, it's that they sparkle. And what better way for me to sparkle than by decking myself out in diamonds? I went down to the mining cavern, which seemed totally unglamorous for a rising star like me, but in order to get the job done, I had to do it. So I started digging for diamonds with my pickaxe. Before long, I was able to make the mining operation a lot more glamorous by crafting myself a diamond pickaxe. Good thing I still have enough diamonds to make some fancy jewelry. Just then, I was attacked by a gang of frost scorpions who were eager to take me down before I hit my superstar swaggering stride. I'd better craft a diamond sword. I turned the last of my diamonds into a diamond sword and stylishly dismantled the horde of frost scorpions with swing after sparkling swing. I may not have jewelry, but at least I feel amazing on the inside. And that's the part that especially doesn't change when you're famous. I left the mines without any diamond clothing, but ready to live a diamond life. From day 63 to day 66, I paced around my base, the absence of Barry hitting me hard in my newfound claim to fame. I could really use a roadie right now. Barry would have been my superfan, I'm sure of it, if only he weren't kidnapped. I looked to the statue in which Barry had left unfinished, scowling at its decrepit state. You know, if I squint hard enough, it almost looks like a statue of me. Yeah, me, superstar, super shark. Maybe when I get Barry back, he could finish the statue in my artistic honor. Cause I'm the best dang musician on land and sea, baby! I did a moonwalk even cooler than Silver John. But first, I need my main hype man back. Barry Cuda, I'm coming for you, so you can come with me to every venue I sell out seats for. I'm not a sellout, the seats are. Sold out because everyone is here to watch me. And if you want to join my fan club, be sure to subscribe to Zozo on YouTube, and maybe you can be my #1 roadie too. Now let's get into Fish Food Frenzy Funk. From day 67 to day 70, I rolled up all cool like to Mojave Studios, the biggest record-signing music studio in the entire overworld. I've got the sick beats of a warden, and I'm hungry like a shark. I can do this. Get ready, world. Superstar Zozo is on his way. I stepped into the lobby and was immediately stopped by a big bad ogre who looked straight out of Silver John's fan club. This doesn't bode well.
Hey, this is an appointment-only studio. If you want to record something here, you better have what it takes. And what it takes is you paying money to me.
Because it worked so well before, I decided to solve this predicament by lying through my shark teeth. Excuse me, don't you know who I am? I'm triple ultra mega deluxe superstar Zozo. And if you don't let me in to record my latest chart-topping song, you'll be hearing from my lawyers. All 50, a lot of them. Or perhaps you'd like me to take out my diamond sword and settle things that way. My lawyers can be your lawyers no matter how you slice it. Capiche?
Wow, you have absolutely no respect for anyone or their lives. You're definitely a superstar. Come right this way.
In that moment, I learned an important lesson about lying. It would always work and never backfire. especially not already within the same video.
Not sure who you're talking to, but the recording studio is down the hall, and further down the hall. You can't miss it if you go down the hall.
You're off the hook. For now, I'm a real forgiving super duper Warden Land Shark superstar. I went down the hall to find out where the recording booth was where I could get signed. From day 71 to day 74, I strutted my way through Mojave Studios, who were lucky enough to have a musical mastermind such as myself gracing their halls. As I passed portraits by the likes of Mozart, Stevie Wonder, and David Bowie, all musicians with lesser star power than me, I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Mozart Lisa, Stevie Blunder, and David O'Noe. None of them have the sharksmanship that I do. I'm the star of the land, the star of the sea, and no one will take that away from me. Ooh, that rhymed. I should include those lyrics in my new chart-topping single. I heard a few other so-called musicians recording in their booths, but none of their songs sounded anywhere remotely as good as mine. I even heard a song being sung about trees and nature by an oddly familiar voice.
Flowers are blooming and grasses are green. If you steal my gardens, I'll rip out your spleen. Oh, hey, Zozo. After we battled it out in my enchanted knoll, I decided to pursue a career in music. There's no better way to spread ecological awareness than through the power of song.
Sorry, who are you?
Yeti Betty, or Betty the Yeti. Don't you remember me?
I have a lot of fans. I don't remember faces. And you might as well give up on your song now, since my new single's gonna top the charts and push yours down second to none. I continued my confident stride through the halls. Betty's sobbing was sure to make everyone in the soundproof booth with her tone deaf. Beneath the portrait of Paul McCartney, I found a really cool chest. Sweet! I opened the chest and found a full set of diamond armor. How generous! They shouldn't have. Just kidding. They were totally right in this decision. Time to make myself the overworld's next king of bling. Oh wait, I already am the king of bling. Take that, silver skeleton. This shark's made of gold and diamonds. From day 75 to day 78, I made it all the way down the hall in Mojave Studios and found the recording booth where superstars recorded their best stuff. It was starting to dawn on me that I hadn't actually prepared a song to record, but that didn't matter as much as knowing I was the biggest super duper star around. Except right now, I wasn't. Somebody else was using the recording booth, and it was Silver John and Barry the Land Barracuda.
Barry, fetch me more donuts.
Oi, but Mr. John, you've already had so many of them sugary things.
Why should I need to worry about sugar? I'm a skeleton. And also, as everyone in the world is aware, a superstar. Now, I won't say it again. More donuts.
Aye, sheesh. I'll do it then, cripes.
Barry exited the booth, and I was able to swim up to him. Seeing him work for my greatest enemy felt like a deep emotional betrayal, so I let him have it. Barry, come on, man. I thought we were tight, and now you're dropping the big Zos for some old dusty skeleton? Not cool, man. Very unglam of you. And hey, you're not dropping me because I'm dropping you. You and I are history, pal, just like Mozart, Stevie Blunder, and David O'Noe.
Oh, mate, it's not like that. Silver John is a horrible boss. I hate working for him. But you didn't exactly break down the door to rescue me, did ya?
Save your excuses for the county excuse fair. I bet you'll win a big ribbon because your excuses are very much, excuses.
Oh, whatever, mate. You have fun proving how much of a fake jerk you are to the other fake jerk. I'm out of here. See you back at the beach house.
Barry swam out without even getting Silver John his donuts. I guess he really was out of there, but I was just getting started. From day 79 to day 84, I recorded my new hit single at Mojave Studios, blowing away the producer. With how banging my sweet beats were, the speakers shook the room as I sang out to my incredible tune, a song the likes of the world had never known. Until now, that is, all thanks to me and my brilliant mind. Diamonds on my shoulders, yeah, diamonds on my head. You're lame and dumb, I'm cool and fun, and yeah, that's what I said. As I continued gracing the microphone with such musical prowess, someone barged right through my booth's doors, staring me down with his eternally sunglassed eyes.
Who is it? Who's making music the likes of which I've never heard?
That'd be me.
You? And who might you be?
Need I an introduction? With a pause, Silver John scanned my entire diamond-covered getup, taking a moment to recognize the shark beneath the glittering surface.
Zozo?
That's so whoa to you. Whoa, as in whoa, this guy's incredible.
Normally I'd hate to admit it, but right you are, Zozo. Right you are. You know, we've had our fair share of healthy competition, you and I. But how's we make a proper, beneficial business deal, eh? Instead of fighting fin and femur over who gets to be the next chart topper, why don't we combine our musical genius into one brilliant song? A song that, once it's finished, both land and sea will be jumping at the chance for even the slightest glimpse at us, let alone buy tickets for our concert together.
You mean like a collab? Between you and me?
Don't you know it, pal? If we do this, no musician could ever reach the heights we'll reach. We'll break the charts straight through the ceiling. We'll make millions, no, billions! You'll no longer be a land shark, but a sky shark, a sky-high shark, a universe shark. What do you say, huh? Want to be known worldwide? All you gotta do is say the word.
And what's the word?
Let's go platinum.
Your global fame was so close. I could almost taste it. All right, SJ, let's go platinum. We shook on it, fin in hand. And right as we did, Silver John transformed into a bigger, better, cooler version of himself. He was no longer Silver John Skeleton, but Platinum John Skeleton.
Now, Zozo, let's take our moonwalk to the moon.
From day 85 to day 89, I swagger swam back to my dream beach house, a fitting home for a super duper alley-ooper star like myself. I sure am glad I worked things out with Silver John. He's actually the second coolest dude in the overworld, behind me, of course. As I walked inside, I noticed Barry chilling inside the base.
Oh, hey, big faker.
Barry Meister, bury me away. Hey, Barry.
I said, you're a fake.
A fake? Could a fake become the biggest superstar in the overworld? Could a fake live in a big dream house with the overworld's grouchiest barracuda as a friend?
We ain't friends, Zozo. Not with you acting this way. You're not a land shark anymore. You're a clout shark.
Barry's words struck a deep chord with me. I wanted to argue with him, but my mind knew deep down that he was telling the truth about me. I had let fame, or just my obsession with it, turn me into a big jerk, just like Platinum John. You're right, Barry. Oh, I'm really sorry. I don't know how I got so mixed up, but it stops now. Whatever I do, musically or otherwise, I do it because it's who I really am.
Oi, mate, I can tell you meant that. I'm sorry for saying we aren't friends.
Apology accepted. Hey, let's make some music, just for us. Barry and I spent the rest of the day coming up with freestyle raps that were totally fire. So fire, in fact, that they created a fire enchantment that I could use for my diamond sword. With this fire, I will cleanse my wrongdoings and set the record straight. I'm going to let Platinum John know that he can't make me be like him, and he can't boss me around either. From day 90 to day 94, I decided to air my ego out a bit by taking a long nature walk. Timpani had mentioned once before that he got most of his creative inspiration from the outdoors and its natural percussion, the falling of rain, the rhythm of footsteps. So I figured I should try and engage in such a natural endeavor as well. Besides, it was much better than being stuck inside a stuffy, soundproof recording studio anyways. As I felt one with the Glowshroom Bayou, its aura granted me with a lot of peace, and I felt confident I could write anything my own heart desired, in a humbled, peaceful sort of way. As I approached the campfire, I was met with a super fan of me?
Oh my gosh, no way, it's you! Superstar Land Shark Zozo! Hey, can you sign my collection of Zozo posters for me? And what about this? My Zozo custom jacket, my Zozo limited edition wallet, my Zozo...
Whoa, I'm no Zozo anymore. I'm just Zozo. My days of stardom are over. My choice. They weren't all they were cracked up to be. Plus, it got pretty lonely without all my true friends around. Do you ever wonder if the stars up in the sky get lonely too? My family under the sea never gets to see the stars up above. Only sea stars, which are under the water. They've also never seen clouds or rain. Actually, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I think this nature walk is inspiring me way too much to the point beyond comprehension. Anyways, being a rock star stinks. What is it we were talking about again?
Signing my Zozo memorabilia?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't do stuff like that anymore. Sorry.
No worries. I think your speech actually opened my eyes a bit. Maybe I don't have to be a fan of someone else. Maybe I can be a fan to myself in a humble kind of way, like self-care and all that. Speaking of, I only started playing guitar because all the cool people like Platinum John did it. But in reality, I hate playing guitar. My fingers are too big, and my true passion is the flute. If you're still making music for yourself, you can have my guitar if you'd like. I'd rather it go to a home where I know it'll get used, rather than sit around collecting dust amongst my Platinum John merch. I'll probably sell anyway.
Gee, Thanks, Superfan. I'd love to take it off your hands. It might come in handy one day. Man, I wish I had hands. I'm still able to play guitar, though.
Don't call me Superfan, call me Super Free. Free to love whatever I want to love, including myself.
But not too much, or you'll end up just like Platinum John.
Got it. I'm free to love myself at an acceptable level.
And how? From day 95 to day 97, I invited Chimi over to the Rainbow Beach House for a jam session. We played a lot of funky music and then took a well-earned break.
So, no hard feelings about Mojave Studios?
What do you mean?
Felt like I pushed you into becoming a superstar, and it might have been for the wrong reasons. You're a unique artist, Zozo, and trying to be like Silver John wouldn't be the win you'd hoped for.
I realize that now, but if it makes you feel better, I don't blame you for any of it.
Thanks, Zozo. There's something else I need you to hear.
Jimmy pulled out a music disc, which we decided to play on the record player. I almost couldn't believe my ears.
Shining like diamonds, I'm Jimmy, Jimmy baby. You're all overrated, Jimmy's here to stay.
What? But this is Silver John's song. I mean Platinum John's song.
It was originally my song. He changed the lyrics and melody and made it about him. And that's how he got famous.
Jimmy, that's terrible. We've got to get his fans to listen to this. Maybe they'd turn on him.
But maybe they wouldn't. Platinum John may have stolen my work to get where he is, but that doesn't mean I was meant to get there instead. Fame is a tricky thing, Zozo, and it has a mind of its own.
But Silver John can't get away with this. His legacy is built on a lie.
Then you'll have to beat him with the truth. A new truth that comes from the heart. A new song that will reveal everything.
Diss track?
Exactly. One so perfect and truthful that it will cut straight through all his glitz and glamour.
Let's rehearse it then. I'll return to Mojave Studios and get it recorded in the next few days. Chimi and I continue to jam, now ready to bring the heat down on Platinum John with an epic diss track. On day 98, I was still rehearsing for my big day of recording. I was finally doing music for me with the help of my friends, and I couldn't have been any happier. But if you would like to be happier, you should listen to this song I wrote. Like the video and subscribe to Zozo. You want to watch the videos? Don't say no. Adventures in store, videos galore. Leave a comment, tell me a tell. I'll do 100 days as a whale. I'm Zozo. Zozo, baby. On second thought, this might be the last singing one for a while. Music is difficult. On day 99, I brought my guitar with me to Mojave Studio in order to record the diss track that Chimi and I had been practicing obsessively. Today is the day that I use my musical talent to set things right. I've got the sonic grooves of justice served. I stepped inside and proceeded down the hall, and further down the hall until I reached the recording booth. Platinum John was still hanging around in the booth, but I wasn't messing around with him this time.
What's up, Zozo? Ready to make some more popular music about how cool we are and how lame everyone else is?
I've got a better idea, Platinum John. Listen to this hot beat. I tuned the guitar to perfection and transformed into the Warden Land Shark embodiment of music. I could spit literal fire with my fire breath, and I had 100 hearts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. John, where did it go wrong? You traded all your friends for a stolen song. John, how can you even go on? John, where did it go wrong? If I were you, my heart would feel so wrong.
What is this? Why does it sound like this song is about me? And it's true!
You better believe it. This is the soundtrack of your fall from grace. John, you're a fraud, a liar, a cold. Is there an honest bone in your skeleton bod? The fire I was spitting blasted Platinum John's skeleton, destroying his overinflated ego with the burning flames of the truth. Desperate for the song to stop, Platinum John attacked. But once again, my Warden Shark intuition allowed me to dodge his every attack as my fire breath burned him down to the last ashen bone. His fame was over. I, Zozo, had taken down the biggest jerk who ever claimed to be a super duper star. I've got to tell my friends about this. On day 100, we were tired by the fanfare of celebrity life, so we threw a small party on stage as intimate as the small town coffee shop's open mic night. We had a circle jam together, each playing our respective instruments. Jimmy on the mic, myself on the guitar, Timpani on the drums, and Barry as our new pianist.
I may not have fingers, but flopping on the keys is the next best thing.
Hey Barry, whatever happened to that statue you were building?
Aye, come off it, mate. The real statue is playing music with your mates.
You said it, and I agree with it. Our sheep were our audience, and they were super into our friend-run symphony, buying and applause every time we swapped to a new song.
This really is the life, Zozo. Just us and our instruments, sharing the beauty of music together. And what could be better than that?
I don't know. Topping the worldwide charts? Just kidding. The only thing I need in my world is my best friends. Now let's close this last song out, Chimi. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.